Hi, I'm Emma, and you're watching my 35 weeks pregnant update. Um, I mentioned last week that I was kind of a little bit baby brained and that kind of thing, and I've noticed that this week too. I've been really zony and really out of it. I mean, I can do things, but it's hard for me to hear too. I feel like my hearing has honestly been affected. I can't hear Jason half the time when he answers me, and he might be mumbling more than usual, but I can't really hear him. And it's not because I'm not listening, it's just I can't focus somehow and like fill in the gaps of the part of the sentence that I didn't really fully hear. I can't do that very well. Um, and I've just been just kind of out of it. I mentioned last week that I felt like I was kind of on drugs, and I think that's, I am on drugs. I'm on my own body's hormonal drugs, I think. Still, there's a whole lot of baby movement going on. It's really exciting. A lot of, in particular, I mentioned this last week, but in particular, a lot of pushing on my cervix, I've noticed, like a lot of headbutting on my cervix, as that's one of the biggest moves. And then I feel a lot of hands tickling kind of around in this region near the baby's face. And that's, I think, my favorite thing is feeling the baby's hands. I don't know why. It's just the coolest. Because you can feel the dexterity that they have, and it's just really awesome. I think I'm leaning slightly towards the baby being a girl again. I don't even remember what I thought last time. It's gone back and forth so many times. But slightly, and Jason is leaning slightly towards it being a boy. So it's kind of cool. We finally have slightly different opinions about it, but we're so very like, I have no idea. Also, unfortunately, my hip has started hurting again. If you've watched all the videos, you've seen way before, many weeks ago, I had like a sort of a hip pain in this hip here. And I'm not having the like leg pain associated with it, like the nerve pain that I mentioned, but my hip is sore. And the way that manifests the most is at night when I have to get up and go pee. It's like really hurts to get out of bed because I'm also dealing with the carpal tunnel hands and the brace, and then the fact that my feet hurt so bad when I put them on the ground, and they're so swollen and painful to the touch. Massages are nice, even though the massages hurt. It's kind of nice labor practice because they hurt so much, but I can tell it makes them feel better. It just moves some fluid around. So sometimes Jason will give me foot massages. I've said this. But going to pee in the middle of the night, the multiple times I have to go, is like absolutely the least fun thing ever because it's like hard to position myself to get out of bed, and then sitting up hurts my hip, and then like walking hurts my feet. It's just like, oh my God, everything is like so frustrating in the middle of the night anyway. In the day, there can be frustrating things, but it's not as concentrated as at night. I feel like where everything is acting up at once. I have noticed that I have finally started to get a little layer of fat all over my lower body. Because before I wasn't really, I was getting fat in particular places. Now there is like a layer of fat that you can see that is like kind of making the definition, whatever definition I had in my legs and different things like that kind of disappear. I'm getting, yeah, like a little layer of fat, and you can tell that that's what it is. So that's really interesting. All the underwears that I'd gotten that were the larger size, they still fit, but they're not like, they don't go on quite as easy. I really have to like lift them up over the bump of my butt to like get them on. So that's been something which is interesting because I also don't feel like I've been eating tons and tons, and yet, you know, I have been gaining weight, you know. Okay, so also, let's see. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned at my last appointment, we weighed me, and I'm 180 pounds. So that means I've gained 30, depending on where I started, 148 to 150, somewhere in there, 148, I think. So we'll say I've gained 32 pounds-ish, maybe 30 pounds at this point. And up until this week when I started to get kind of the layers of fat, Jason was like, where did that go? Like, I don't see how you were carrying that weight. And I think part of it's water weight. You know, a lot of it's baby and amniotic fluid and just my stomach. But I think that's one reason why my hips have started hurting again, because of all the extra weight. And when I'm sleeping, they really hurt if I lay on one side for too long, because of 30 pounds that I'm not used to, you know. Interestingly, I've also noticed that my fingernails and toenails have been growing really fast, like freaky fast. And I can barely clip them in time because I don't like long nails, like I like them short. And also, my body hair has been growing at different paces. Like, my leg hair has been growing very slow, and my armpit hair has been growing super fast. So it's like, what is going on? There's such a weird array of things happening. I mentioned the swelling last week, and it's getting worse this week. I mentioned that I'm pretty much always swollen last week, but now I'm like always swollen more than just a little bit. Except when I first wake up, I feel like I'm swollen a little bit. But my feet still hurt in the morning and in the middle of the night, even after I've been laying down with my feet, circulating near my heart. But it's been hard to have a time to put up my feet, and it's hard, like putting my feet up sitting down kind of helps, but doing it laying down is better. And then, I would like to do Epsom salts. I haven't started that yet. I'm going to start that soon and see how that'll help, soaking my feet some. And I want to try to ice my feet too and see how that goes. Don't know when that'll end up happening, because by the time I get to this stuff, I'm just so busy during the day. I'm not managing my time well right now, I think, or something. My feet are just so swollen, and I can't even bend my ankles. They hurt so bad. So usually at the end of every night, I'm upset to some degree because I'm tired and I'm hungry and I've stayed up too late because I was doing too many things and I'm not resting enough. I'm probably sleeping enough, but I'm not resting between sleeping, So I'm just emotional and oh, I'm really upset. I'm still hungry. I need more food. Got to find more food. I just want to lay down and do nothing, and I haven't been doing that until way too late at night, and that's my fault. I need to figure that out better. I need to stop doing things, even if I'm supposed to do them. I just need to be the answer's no. Still haven't been able to start getting the baby stuff ready, which is frustrating. But we do have a timeline for getting that ready. So soon, my mom is going to come help me start the baby room. And then my dad's going to help Jason do a couple outside things, and then it's going to help us move forward to where Jason and I can do that stuff together. So this is the 35 weeks pregnant update. It gets harder every week. It's still my favorite part of pregnancy for sure, the third trimester, even though I don't look as enthusiastic, act as enthusiastic. I'm just really tired. But I'm still having a really fun time, and it's just so overwhelming, the meaning of the whole thing, that I can't even process it. But I'm really loving how bizarre and almost out-of-body experience the whole thing has started to become. So continue to enjoy it if you're a pregnant person. It's worth it, I'm sure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for the 36 weeks pregnant video. Bye.